for the final second. All the Celtics had to do was touch it. And on a night they had no touch for the entire first half, the gap year Celtics continue to put a gap between themselves and the rest of the Eastern Conference. A 22-point come-from-behind win, and the Celtics have done it again. The final, Boston 98, Miami 96.
All right, Celtics win, everybody. Celtics win. You know, there's been the Bridgies, right? That was the bridge year Celtics. Then there's the championship Celtics. Are they now the gap year Celtics? Is that what this group is called? Because I didn't say that. I just heard Grandy say it a couple of times. Sean Grandy. I was on the call tonight with Cedric Maxwell. I saw Tim Bontemps write about it the other day. Gap year, gap year, gap year. I keep hearing about a gap year. But the Celtics keep winning. They win again tonight against Miami, 98-96, a comeback win. They were down 22 points. They had 1-3 in the first half. It was bad. The only guy who was scoring was Jaylen Brown, but he was struggling in other areas. So is this the gap year Celtics? Is this what their nickname is? Is this who they are? Your thoughts on the green tonight, 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube. I already see Matt in there. I see Jose Perez in there. Who else do I see in there? I'm in there. RS New England Sports is in there. He says Joe Murray for Coach of the Year. You got it. I know how to run that diamond press, pick and roll defense. I'm in on that. But the Celtics have now won 5 in a row. The gap year Celtics have won 5 in a row. They have a new team. They're under the tax. They've made some adjustments. Peyton Pritchard off the bench, which I want to get to in a minute here. When I look at the team, they got 6 points from 3 starters tonight. Hauser, Garza, and Queta. The rest of it was White, Brown, and Pritchard. Now, Vucevic, their new addition, gave him 11 points. We'll talk about him in a bit. Shireman gave him 5. Ugo gave him 2. The rest of the lineup is Jordan Walsh, Ron Harper, and Amari Williams. They didn't play tonight. But this group battled. This group kept Miami under 100 points. Now, I know they scored 98, but they can win games this way. I got some takeaways coming up in just a little bit. But the Celtics erased a 22-point deficit tonight. They now won 5 in a row. This was their biggest comeback of the year. They were horrible in the first half. They shot just 29%. They were shooting 5% from 3. I couldn't believe it. 1 for 20, not good. They fought back in the second half. And Peyton Pritchard was the reason, if you ask me. And Nikola Vucevic helped out. They helped on a 25-7 run to close out the third quarter, and they kept it close the entire way in the fourth. The Heat had chances to tie the game with 8 seconds remaining, but they could not get the rebound after Davion Mitchell's shot, which was horrible, by the way. They went to him twice down the stretch, and he clanked. Jaylen Brown, of course, had 29 points. Pritchard had 24 off the bench. His third straight game hitting at least 24 points as off the bench, as a reserve. I mentioned Vucevic added a double-double, 11 points and 12 rebounds in his debut off the bench. They held off Andrew Wiggins, who had 26 points, but they didn't even go too late in the game. The Celtics have now won all 3 games against the Miami Heat this year. They have control of the number 2 seed in the East after New York lost to the Pistons tonight. So the Celtics take on New York Sunday with control of the number 2 seed. I wanted to get into this a little bit on the other side here. We do have to break. We're just coming back off the network. So we'll break, we'll headline, and then we'll go to you. I got some takeaways for tonight. And also, we got to give our predictions. Skaz is here as well. We got to give our Super Bowl predictions tonight. We won't be back. Well, I know Skaz will be on the air on Sunday. He'll be working the Celtics game. But this is the last time as a show we can give our Super Bowl pick. So we'll have that for you until 11 o'clock tonight. Line up those phones, everybody. 617-779-0985. Get in on the YouTube as well. I like to read out what you got tonight. Tara says nice comeback tonight, and everyone is happy. So let's hit the headline. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics erase a 22-point deficit to get a 98-96 win tonight. It was led by Peyton Pritchard's 24 points off the bench. Celtics win tonight. You're on your way home. You want to call 617-779-0985. Takeaways tonight for the Green. They overcome their worst three-point night of shooting and a half for the year. Like, they've been able to shoot the three. It hasn't really been their biggest issue all year long, but they shot 5% in the first half. They missed 19 of 20 in the first half. Their starting five were terrible. They went 0 for 14 from downtown. Baylor Shireman was the only Celtic to knock down a three in the first half. They shot 29% overall in the first half, but dug themselves out of a 21-point hole at halftime. And I give Peyton Pritchard the credit. Man, he looks so good coming off the bench. He played 2 straight games off the bench and wins over Houston and Dallas. And he's continued now 24 points in 3 straight games. Dick Leib, of course, has it. Kevin McHale did that 4 times off the bench, 24-4 straight. Larry Bird did it twice, and Malcolm Brogdon did it once. But that awful, poor first half they had led to the Celtics on a 25-7 run to close out the third quarter. Pritchard has scored 20 or more points off the bench in 3 straight games. I went with 24. But his transition to the bench looks seamless since Anthony Simons has been traded. And Nikola Vucevic, promising debut, came off the bench to a standing ovation, gave the Celtics useful size, posted a double-double with some useful high-low action with Celtics guards against the Heat switches. Missoula elected to play him alongside Neemias Queta in some parts of the game. It was their best offense on the night. He ended up finishing with 11 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in just 28 minutes. Vucevic showed he could be a great weapon for this team. He could take advantage of small defenders down low, which he certainly did tonight. He can find the open man, too. I didn't realize he was a pretty good passer. And the double big lineup, him, Queta, or him and Luka Garza, it worked. He ended up starting double bigs again tonight, Garza and Queta, but kind of went away from him later on in the game. But just a great night for the Green. Skaz, your thoughts on the comeback, Skaz, of the Green Teamers? And is this the gap year Celtics? Like, is this now what we're going to call them?
No, they're not the gap year Celtics.
I'm not trying to do that. I want you to know.
Yeah, so I jumped at you there, Joe. I apologize.
But did you hear Sean Grandy?
Yeah, he was saying it like tongue-in-cheek. Like,
this is not Tim Bontemps and all that?
Yes.
So me calling it the gap year Celtics would be tongue-in-cheek then, the way that he would be doing it. I'm saying so. I'm actually being kind of serious, but it's tongue-in-cheek.
I mean, they're a competitive team in the Eastern Conference. The East is down this year, and the Celtics are up from where everyone thought they would be. Maybe even some people inside that building. I know Derek White told the story about Joe Mazzulla calling him on his birthday and saying everyone thinks we're going to suck, we're not going to suck, and then hanging up on him. Like, they've been good all year. You mentioned Vucevic. I saw a stat, most rebounds in a Celtics debut since Kevin Garnett in 2007. So
they haven't had it. So basically, they haven't had a rebounder here since Kevin Garnett. Well, I mean, Kate has had some big
nights. Yeah, they've had some good ones.
But debut.
Yeah, that's a big one. And, he's going to score a little bit more than that. You hope he is okay defensively, not a total, cone out there, pick and rolls and stuff like that. But this is who the Celtics are. They don't really get blown out this year. They hang around. They fight. They're gritty. They win these games. Jaylen Brown once again drags them back into the fight, getting to the free throw line, driving downhill when they can't score. And again, a big thing we've kind of picked up on this year, something we talk about on the Green Teamers a lot, is third quarters. The Celtics come out in these third quarters and give credit to Joe Mazzulla, Sam Cassell, whoever it is, Emile Jefferson, whoever it is that's doing this. They're coming out in the third quarter. They're playing defense and 36-15 run, 21-point differential in the third quarter. Like, that's not average in the NBA. So a very good win for the Celtics tonight. And you mentioned it, Joe, the Pritchard thing. I've felt all along that Peyton Pritchard's best suited off the bench. I think you feel that way as well. And what more proof do you need than 6th man of the year last year, these last couple games? Like, Peyton Pritchard is a very good NBA player. it's not a knock that he's better off the bench. It's just how his game works. It's how the Celtics are built. He's a better weapon for the team coming off the bench against second units than he is as a starter. I don't even think you can really argue it at this point.
I'm not comparing the two, but Manu Ginobili did it his whole career. John Havlicek did it years ago. Like, I'm just saying, like, guys, Kevin McHale, like, guys who are Hall of Famers can come off the bench and be great at it.
Who's the guy that used to win six-man every year? Lou Williams. Lou Williams. Jordan Crawford was another guy who
and they
score.
could all be starters. It's just they were better off the bench.
Sometimes that's just, where you fit. And I think getting Vucevic and, Tatum's potential return, like the roster starts to fit in place more. And that's a good thing for the Boston Celtics.
Hey, what else is a good thing is like their final guys that aren't playing are Walsh and who didn't play tonight? I'm just saying, it's still a good team. Like the guys, I know that Amari Williams and Ron Harper, who literally started the other night.
That's the beauty of the Celtics right now.
Like their roster's good. I mean, they got rid of their dead weight, taking money out of it. Pritchard helps seamlessly the production that Simons would have given them, and I guess Vucevic is going to give them.
He's certainly going to give him more than Chris Boucher, Xavier Tillman, and
combined.
Yes, doubled and combined. Yes.
See, I think Garza will be better off the bench too. This is why I think Vucevic eventually will be a starter.
It's why the roster just makes more sense now. Garza is now your third big, your second big off the bench. Like everyone is more in place now, and I think that's something that can't be taken lightly.
And when Tatum comes back, you can put Hauser either at the 3 or have him come off the bench and even be more of a useful shooter off the bench. Wow, huh? They're not a gap year team. They're second in the East. They're below the tax, and they could potentially get their best player back. But yet, somewhere, Skaz, that was bad. Right? People think they threw the season away. There are people who think that.
Well, yeah. People, yeah.
No. What was it called? Dribble?
Drivel, I believe, was the word that Stephen A. Smith used.
Do you know how many people I know that just listen to Felger and Maz all day long, and then they try to talk to me, and I'm like, you heard that on Felger and Maz today. He said it's like they just take it as gospel.
Well, it's spoken as gospel, Joe. That's the problem.
Spoken. This isn't me crapping on them. It's that Felger will not allow it to be you are under the tax. Like me, I hated what they did. I hated giving up a team that was a championship team. I hated it. And when ownership said they're going to try to get under the tax, I believed them. And then they did. So they told us this. Now they're under the tax, and I'm happy because they told us that. I also believe they weren't a championship team. I still don't think they're a championship team. But am I happy that they're a competitive team that's second in the East? Yes. So I'm happy. I'm still upset they gave up the roster. But I'm happy they got under the tax and they're competitive. All I ask for is to give me a good season, will you? Because you already told me you're not a championship team. Anyways, anything else to add to that? Because the money, I don't think people are understanding that getting under the tax was about money. It was. It's okay to say it was about money. But they're still competitive.
Brad Stevens
That's good.
Told you that today.
So I am happy. I still wish that they were a team that I could believe could win a championship. I am, though, happy they're competitive. I am. All right. We got to go to break. We got to give you our Super Bowl picks. I see Justin and Lynn. We'll get to him. And we'll give you our picks coming up next on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
And on the ball, and yo, it's Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60 on Sunday, everybody. It's been talked about for weeks. There's a lot going on here, but this is where I think the Patriots can win the game, and it's on third down. In third or 7 or more this year, Seattle's offense ranks 31st in the NFL. They convert on third down 16% of the time. The Patriots rank first in third and long situations this year. I really like the Patriots on third down to take control of the game. The other thing is the turnover battle. Sam Darnold led the NFL with 20 turnovers. The Patriots have forced the most turnovers in the postseason with 8. They've generated the most pressure. I think it could be the difference in the game. And when you really look at it, to me, in big games, your best players perform well. Now, have there been Super Bowls where, guys you never really heard of make big plays? It happened in that 2014 Seattle versus Patriots one. I'm telling you right now, the Patriots' 3 best players are Drake May, Milton Williams, and Marcus Jones. One of them, if not all 3 of them, are going to be huge on Super Bowl Sunday. Skaz, my pick is over 45.5. I like the Patriots plus 4.5. I have a high-scoring game. I have 31-23 Patriots.
All right, Joe, mine was pretty close to that. I will go 28-17 Patriots. So not quite your over, I apologize. Well, that's 45, right? I'm not a math guy.
It's close.
Yeah.
Could go down to 45 by kickoff. Who knows?
There you go.
I think the Patriots, after the last few weeks of having some struggles and hearing about their offensive struggles, I think they let it loose a little bit, and I think their defense scores. And I think Milton Williams could be a Super Bowl MVP candidate. I think in the end, Drake May holds the trophy. But Marcus Jones, I would put some action on him. So that's it. I'm sorry we couldn't get to some of the guys that were waiting on hold tonight. I know Justin and Lynn and Rajiv called in. I'm sorry, guys. You're always welcome on the show. I just wanted to thank everyone for their Super Bowl coverage all week long. Great job by our staff. Jim Louth, Rick Radzik, Mark Capello, Dennis Knudsen has been outstanding. We got Alex Barth's been joining us every night, all our shows. Zoe Beetle McCone, of course, Felger Maz, Big Jim Murray. I don't know who else I'm missing that's out there, but absolutely